Hi everyone, this is Killshot99 Gaming. This is The Walking Dead Season 9. Major plot shift topic is Judith in trouble. We're going to talk about that today. We're not going to go into a lot of spoilers. There's just going to be some rumors, innuendos, some structural things of why this could happen. But is it time for us to fear for Judith? That's not just a yes or no question. It's a question that we're going to try to build throughout this broadcast. And we're going to see what the next steps are. So first of all, I want to say good morning to all of you. I know some of you caught the spoilers yesterday, so you know a little bit of information. If you do, just don't type all the stuff out there because there's going to be some people who want to get in here and speculate. And many, many more of you were at the Freestyle Friday last night. How many people were here last night, had a good time hanging out? Just, hey, it's a little Walking Dead. It's a little bit of everything. I don't know if you can really pinpoint it. I think Uncle Creepy said it's like random things on a Friday, but one of the biggest differences between that and random things is random things, we come up with like 6 topics, and we will do that after The Walking Dead, and that'll be midweek where I'll kind of control the topics a little bit. Freestyle Friday's not that. It is, you never know what it's going to be. That's all I can say. It's like we start talking, and it can go any direction. No 2 streams will be the same. That I can definitely promise you. So I appreciate all of you guys being there. And we are so close to unlocking the Kel emoji. So I saw, got a couple new announcements because Luke Crook actually became a member last night as well. And also a brand new Patreon, Tyler Bradley. So we continue to grow. Like I said, no pressure. It's all voluntary. But the next member will unlock Kel, so whoever that happens to be. And Najee has Najee, I think today's your birthday, right? Can you guys confirm that? I think I got a notification that said today is Najee Watts' birthday. So can we, as soon as I get like a yes or thumbs up or something from Najee, then I'm going to give him I don't want to do a birthday shout out, and he's like, no, Kills, I faked it on Facebook. It wasn't real. I just wanted to make up a number. People do that. It happens. Believe me. You know what? Anyway, let's just do it. Najee, happy birthday. So if you guys can give him kind of a birthday salute, we would appreciate that. And let's talk a little bit about Judith. We've seen this story play out, at least a similar story, and we just don't know how similar it's going to be between the Henry story and the Carl story, because those are probably the first 2. We get these young characters, and then they mature them, and they have them out killing things and doing things, and then we just love it. It's like, yes, you know, this is a transformation. They're not like normal kids. The zombie apocalypse has made them stronger and toughened them up, and then we get this dose of reality. And I guess it's a storyline that always seems to work. But I didn't know that we were going to get it this time around. I really thought that Judith was on an island of her own. And it appears that we might have, or at least I might have made that assessment a little bit too soon. So Najee says, yes, it is. Thank you. So Najee's super chatting on his birthday. So let's give you a little birthday jingle here, Najee. It's not my job on your birthday anymore. So a little Bloodhound Gang for you. We got Pete D. Pete D super chatting it, hoping that there's some Tara news. Pete, no news is bad news when it comes to Tara. But Bryn Gilligan says, no, not Judith. Now look, I'm not saying that by Judith being in trouble that Judith dies by any stretch of the imagination. That's not kind of the guiding principle here. What I'm saying is that Judith is, it seems like we're ready to hand the baton over and saying, wow, she's incredible. And she is. And her acting skills, her dialogue, her interaction, and she almost seems like a character that could be a standalone character, at least up to this point. Do you guys agree? Like, when Magnus Group came back, Judith sort of made the decision. She saved them. She sort of stood up to Michonne and said, I'm the one that brought them. And now I think they're going to take a little bit of her authority away. William, the Walking Dead Billboard, says, happy birthday. Super chatting it out for you. It may not be 100%. Everybody might not agree with that assessment. That's fine. I'm just going to kind of walk through it a little bit, and then you'll see where I'm trying to get to with Judith's story. And I don't think it's going to be as extreme, but I do think that the character of Judith Grimes is already rivaling the popularity of Carl. Do you think that's a fair assessment? I know it's early. And if you think it's too early, you can put it's too early. But I can certainly say that I'm a bigger fan of Judith than I am of, or I was of adult Carl. And I'm probably a bigger fan of Judith than I was of even younger Carl, just to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, I had to go back and sort of look, and it's like, yeah, I liked Carl. I liked Carl. I didn't love Carl. Some of you did. And then when Carl got older, I only liked and tolerated Carl. But Judith, when she was like really, really young, the big question was like, who's watching Judith? And now it's like, nobody needs to watch Judith. And without giving away spoilers for tomorrow's episode, which I'm not going to do, we're not going to do, there is going to be a dose of reality where we find out that Judith is not able to make decisions and take care of herself, even in current day. Now, you guys know with some of the flashbacks that are going to happen, you've seen Michonne yell, Judith! So you know something goes down. I'm not going to tell you what goes down because only about 70% of the people in here have seen the spoilers. But you know Judith is in danger. So that's when Judith was younger. So I don't even evaluate that. Yeah, she's much, much younger during the flashback. And she's in trouble. Now, how much of that Judith remembers is important. And whether or not it ultimately affected what she's doing now. But this conversation between Daryl and Judith that we have up on the screen it's a deep intellectual conversation. And I also think that it's meant to make you think that she is more emotionally advanced than she is. I'm not saying they're going to rewrite the Henry storyline. But it's also possible Walking Dead has done this before. I hate when, and I will say this, I hate when they do it. And type in chat if you feel me, if you know what I'm saying here. When they make us like a character so much, and then they do something to make us not like a very, very good character as much because they feel like we're not giving the ample support to the other characters on the show. I'll say that again if that's a little bit confusing. So, Daryl, for example. Daryl is, yeah, I don't want to say it like that. They dumb them up. But think of the examples where that's happened. How many times have you seen the group just, I love Daryl. I love, how passionate he is in his decision making. Like, really, Daryl just jumped Negan in the middle of that when everybody could have lived? No, Daryl. Don't do it that way. Or Rosita has the wherewithal to go back to Alexandria and says, I believe in Rick Grimes. And Daryl's like, I don't give a damn if you do believe in Rick. Get in this damn dump truck. We're riding it through the sanctuary. That's what Daryl does. And then you're just scratching your head like, crap, Daryl, how many people did you get killed this time? And then, what do? They advance him to season 9. And then he's out there for 6 years living on the side of a riverbank looking for Rick. He won't give up. And then you're like, yes, we love Daryl again. And then something will happen. Well, the problem that I have with Judith, and I have no problem with Judith up to this point, is that Everything about her is phenomenal. Her interaction with Negan, her control, her maturity, her badassness, the fact that she just saved all of Magna's group from being devoured. Judith single-handedly kept Connie, Kelly, Magna, and Yumi, and Luke alive to this point. But time is running out. Because I feel like Judith is going to be, could be, a pawn. Now, I hope that the prediction we made a while back, and this is a prediction in coordination with a rumor, which could be a spoiler. And at some point in the last 2 weeks, 15 or 16, it's rumored. It still doesn't make a lot of sense how it's going to play out. It could still be wrong. But it's rumored that Daryl, Michonne, and Carol all get captured by Alpha. Now, why Alpha would still capture them, not kill them, I don't know. I will say, well, actually, I won't say I don't know because I have a strong idea why she'll do it. Alpha's going to kill people. So let me know if you buy into this, and it will turn out to be an ultimate mistake for Alpha. Alpha has to slip up. She didn't start out as strong and powerful as we might have thought she was going to. They bested her a little bit. They've embarrassed her a little bit. So now, not only will Alpha kill people, but I think Alpha is going to take Daryl, Michonne, and Carol and tie them up and probably pull out Ezekiel's head. Probably pull out Henry's head. Probably pull out people in this burlap bag of heads that she's more than likely going to accumulate at the Walking Dead Red Fair, to let them feel the emotional pain and the shock. Not just killing them, I think, at this point will be too easy. Your people killed my people. Killing is too good for you. You will feel the emotional separation and devastation brought upon by my people. I think the Alpha is going to do something creepy, wicked. There will be conflict. Right? I think she's going to do something beyond creepy that is going to be emotionally disturbing. I'm going to revisit a very, very dark scene. Sam, The Walking Dead, you just hit it exactly. You just hit it exactly what I'm talking about. For me, the governor scene with Herschel was fast. It was painful, but it happened quick. Abraham was fast. It was memorable, but it happened quick. There is one moment in The Walking Dead, in the history of The Walking Dead, only one, that has mentally disturbed me. And I want you to type in chat right now. I've said it before. If you know exactly what I'm talking about, I want to see if you can relate to that moment. I got William, The Walking Dead Billboard, says, towards the closing of the stream, can we get some ideas for the group of how the season will end? Absolutely, William. And Delaware Sasquatch, I think she will make them watch the beheadings. That's a possibility as well. And Delaware, I'm gonna tie into that because that's actually where we're leading this conversation. No, not. That's it. Not Glenn dying. Negan dancing after killing Glenn. That is the moment of The Walking Dead that for me is by far the worst, the most ruthless, the most unforgivable time in the history of the television show. Not Abe. I've said it many times. Abe could have died, and I was okay with Abe dying a hero. You know, the peace sign. Not Daryl jumping in there. Not Negan putting the bat in Rosita's face. They all culminated into something. The way Negan reacted after killing Glenn. Just, it is beyond comprehension. Now, if, as Delaware said, if Daryl, Michonne, and Carol are tied up and have to witness a decapitation, or if Alpha has 8 to 10 people and she's already decapitated them and she has Beta come up with a whole, bundle of pikes, and you see Henry's head come out of this bag and she sticks it on top of the pike and says, "This will be our border as a reminder to your people not to cross over into our lands." I mean, I'm going to ask you right now, couldn't that rival? I'm not saying it will necessarily be worse, but would that not be something? It has to be slow. They cannot rush through this. It has to be something that has a lingering effect on the Walking Dead audience. It cannot just be, hey, look, we got these bags and now we're moving on and Negan's over in the bushes. No, it needs to be something where she emotionally disturbs the viewers, which in turn will emotionally disturb each and every one of us. All right, we've got another super chat. Crystal Singer Chick Gore says, "Kills, do you think Alpha hold Daryl, Carol, Michonne to lure rescuers out and have to watch them slaughtered, and that is why she held them?" It could, Crystal. It could be a part of a military strategy to, break them out because she knows, okay, a few people come out, we'll be ready for them. I think that would be an okay story. But for me to really despise Alpha, I don't want to see Alpha the strategist, Alpha the general. I want to see Alpha the cruel, ruthless, psychotic, never come back from it. You will never, ever, ever be redeemed in my mind villain that is 100 times worse than Negan. And by Negan taking up arms against her to save other people, it takes the onus off of Negan as being the worst villain on the show. It automatically catapults him, in my mind, to neutral. Not to hero, but to neutral. And I think that's the thing with Negan. June Smith, Governor, sickens my mind in Walking Dead history. If you take Governor on the comics, I think it's Governor and Alpha, and Negan pales in comparison. TV show up to this point, Negan certainly over Governor. But what Governor did to Michonne and what Alpha allowed happen to Lydia in the comics, so much worse than anything that Negan ever did. But so far, I would say on the television show, it's all Negan. And there are 3 stages of, and look, there's minor gray area in between, but here's the thing with Negan and how it relates, and I'm going to tie this into Judy. You've got hero, you've got neutral, and you got villain. And there's different levels, chaotic good, chaotic evil, all of those. Negan was at the very bottom of the food chain, just beyond resurrecting. But we knew, based on the comic, the one thing Negan had going for him is he was already given an elevated status because of the comics. So people knew how it was going to trend. And the goal really to this point by the writers has been, we just got to get Negan to a point where everybody doesn't hate him anymore. And we're going to have him do some good stuff. We're going to have him be in jail. We're going to have him, try to carry on a little bit of Rick's dream. But really what it's going to boil down to is we're going to need to build this emotional connection between Negan and Judith. And they've done a good job. So for Negan to really start to get above neutral and to become more toward a hero status, they're going to have to pass the baton. So look, the things I talked about earlier with Judith, where they tend to dumb characters down when you really like them, well, they also do the opposite. When you really hate a character sometime, they give them, a couple extra bonus points, and then we start to like them a little bit more. We're kind of controlled to a certain degree by the direction of the story, and rightfully so. We should be. We're following the story, and we're getting involved in it as if it's happening. But with Judith, Judith is the star of that show at this point. So Judith is going to have to show some vulnerability, and that she can't do it alone, which is in turn going to build that connection with Judith and Negan. And I'm still going on board here. And I've been on this for a long, long time. Holler if you hear me. Actually, give this video a thumbs up if you remember when we threw down the gauntlet in this chat and I said, based on what we've heard with Michonne, Daryl, and Carol all being taken, that Judith will free Negan, and Judith and Negan will become partners because Negan will want to save Michonne for Judith. If you guys remember that from months ago, and if you think it's starting to make a little bit more sense at this point, because I'm going to tell you, I caught a lot of heat from people when I put that theory out there. A lot of heat. And now of all the things we've talked about, it's starting to feel pretty good, right? It's starting to... And the thing with common sense is, once it happens, then people are like, okay, well, yeah, we knew that was going to happen. I'm going to tell you, it still may not happen that way, but I'm catching a lot of lashback for that. But I do think this week is going to build on that. And if Michonne is captured, I absolutely think that Judith will be the one to partner with Negan because they're already pushing that connection. And exactly, Mish Trudat says that's Negan's redemption. That is the last step he needs to take to get people. Look, Michonne used to be physically disgusted by the sight of Negan. Now she can come in and cross her arms and have a conversation. And, give him that, you are not to talk to Judith. What did you do? She can do that now, which to me tells me she's lightening up to Negan a little bit. How many people agree that Michonne almost enjoys her conversation with Negan? She doesn't have to go in there and keep visiting. She never did. How many people think that Michonne is warming up to Negan? Sam from The Walking Dead says, imagine the suspense of Alpha slowly piking heads as Michonne, Daryl, and Carol just sit and watch. That would be devastating. Absolutely. I'm glad I got you guys to visualize that, because it would. Nope, no trust. Crazy Bee, I get it. There's no trust. But here's the plot twist. Here's where it changes. If you were Michonne, all right, I need everybody grab your katana, grab your Walking Dead dreads. You are Michonne. And you are captured. You're right there. And somebody's Daryl. Who wants to be Daryl? Somebody volunteer. I guess everybody can't be Michonne. 99% of you are Michonne, and one of you is Daryl, and one of you Carol, okay? And exactly as we articulated it just a minute ago. You're tied up, and you see Ezekiel's head come out of a bag, and it goes on a pike. And here's Alpha just rubbing your face in it the whole time. Who is next in my bag of heads? And then she pulls out Henry. Henry. And then she pulls out Nabila. So you got Carol. You've got all these people just watching these pikes just start to be constructed. And you know that you feel the pain, that you feel the loss, you feel the anguish. And you're Michonne, and you're just like, you know Michonne just wants to break out. But she can't. And after all this goes down, Negan rescues you. Maybe season 10. But he doesn't kill you. He doesn't try to take over your leadership. He risks his life after you've been through all this trauma and all this emotional distress. And Negan is the one that frees you. Does that give you the slightest little bit of trust in the future? Come on, Negan haters, really? Is that not the story that needs to happen? That Negan can fully redeem himself with Michonne. She hated him, but Rick said let him live. They locked him up. She visits him. She gets captured. He goes full circle and risk his life. And you know he's got nothing else to gain from it. If that doesn't give him the redemption, nothing will. Now, look, here's the beauty of The Walking Dead. Eventually, we will all trust him. But that's the cool part, because he could turn on us again. Years down the road, maybe he gets an itch to be a leader again, and it's fine. As an audience, we need to be manipulated a little bit. Because if the writers don't have the power to change our feelings and emotions toward characters, the show dies. It becomes stagnant. There's nothing exciting or interesting about it. William, the 999 Walking Billboard. Love that storyline. Hope it happens. So Goldie says, sorry, no, I can't forgive Negan. Okay, well, here's the thing, Goldie. I don't believe you just put yourself in the position of Michonne like I ask you. You're still viewing it as a viewer, as a fan. So let's try this again. I need you to be Michonne. And let's take it a step further. You're not a viewer. You're tied up. You're watching the people you care about slowly die. And Judith gets caught. And now he saves his life. So what if the question was just asked? I'm going to be completely sarcastic in driving this point home. Now, as Michonne, you have a choice between trusting this person, or he can just kind of check out, walk away, join the Whispers, do whatever he wants to do. At some point, you got to let it go. We got, says who you. Negan will never be a trustworthy character. Why weaken Michonne and or Carol with Negan, the knight in shining armor? Because the show, to a certain degree, is about redemption. It's about compounded evil. It's about needing people and showing the change in people. Remember, a lot of us started walking, and I got some really good stories with The Walking Dead. A lot of us started watching the show, not because it was a zombie show and to see who gets eaten, and not to see if the zombies win. It's about who you have to kill, who you have to trust, who can save who. Not everybody can be saved. William, The Walking Dead billboard. I don't feel like it would weaken them. Starts a new storyline. And see, you can see the polarizing nature of Negan. Whereas at one point when we were doing our streams 2 years ago, 90% of the audience hated him, wanted him to die. And they were mostly television show fans only. And I can tell you, almost all of the television show fans that only knew Negan's introduction would never, ever, ever even utter his name. And then it started to change. Now, Angie brings up a good point. Think like Negan saves your kid. I agree with that. Do I expect Michonne to inviting you over for spaghetti? Maybe not. But would I expect like some tears? Would I expect a nod, a hug, or something? Yeah. Some mutual respect that there's things in this zombie apocalypse that change people. Sam, The Walking Dead, says we hate him because he killed our guys. Remember, Rick and everyone savagely killed tons of his men in their sleep. Yeah, it's funny. The issue that The Walking Dead has created. It's almost as if we see everything through the eyes of, like Ellis Smith Jr. says, Sam, that was justified. Well, Ellis, I would disagree, because there were people that were saviors that were forced to be saviors, that couldn't walk, that were doing things to protect their family. And even the comment, it was justified, is just it's a little funny to me, Ellis. I don't think it's justified. Because I doubt very many of you, if you were put in that situation, would go out and murder a whole bunch of people in their sleep. So, Ellis, let me tell you why that's wrong. All right. You know what's funny? Ellis, I'm gonna shoot you down right now. I love this. Hold on. I'll get to you in a second. This is the biggest argument I've heard over and over again. Ellis Jr. says, oh, well, nope, they chose that. Well, guess what, Ellis? So did the murdering people that went and murdered those people in their sleep. They chose that too. So what you're telling me is that those people were part of Negan's group and they deserve to die, but the people that were with Rick that disagreed with it, they couldn't have said, hey, peace out. I don't want to be part of murdering for revenge. I don't want to be a part of murdering in any reason. Me and my two people are going to get in the RV and we're going to take off. They had the same choice. It's not justified. It's a matter of whether or not you're going to say revenge is okay and now you got a revenge card that gives you the right to kill aimlessly. It's not. So everybody has the right to walk away, but people also have the right to be afraid and to be part of the group. Jesus, now it sounds like it's going to be a Bible study, right? The character Jesus actually made that very clear when he said, we don't need to kill all these people. But Rick and Morgan went and did it anyway. They continued to do it. Once again, in all bold print, stopping evil, I disagree that all of the saviors were evil. They weren't. Look at the saviors that are still there, that are side by side with Michonne, that will die for Michonne. Why not just kill them all? They were all evil at one point. So based on your argument, anybody that was ever a savior should be dead. Not true. Alden. Let's kill Alden. Let's kill DJ. Let's kill them all. It's a weak argument, man. It's an argument based on we got to kill all these people in their sleep because that's the way we end this war. No. You know what you do? It's like Rick said. Rick actually had it on the money. You kill Negan. Rick could have killed Negan. I got Jason Reed. I forgave Negan when he killed Davey. It sucked to lose Glenn and Abe, but they did take part in massacring Negan's fighters. That's Jason Reed on the board. If you guys agree with Jason, then give me something in the comments down below. I'm going to jump over to another super chat because I'm fired up. See, it's Coffee with Killshot, everybody. The rant is about to begin. Come on, Ellis. Put on the gloves, baby. You and me. Let's throw it down. Me and Ellis are going to have a Walking Dead debate right here. I love it. All right, we got Says Who You. The first thing Negan did when he got out was run back to Sanctuary, grab a pipe and a leather jacket. He wanted to be his old self. When did the change occur? Really, just wondering. Well, hold on. I want to address that too with Says Who You. I think it's a good argument. I think the change occurred when he saw Big Richie. I think it was starting to happen. He wanted to see what it was like. He wanted to see if he could go back to his old self. He knew he had no people to lead. But when he killed Big Richie, and then he turned himself in to go back to jail with Judith, I think it was pretty clear the change had occurred. I got another super chat up here. So we got Mark Jacob. Negan rules Alexandria, Maggie rules the Hilltop. Felt remorse? So how many people SoCo, so pretty? Jackets are just clothes, doesn't equal evil. I think that's a great point. And I love the debate. I love how people are on one side or the other. But there are, see, this is in an indirect way, I think the point is being made. The clothes don't make Negan good or bad. Going to Sanctuary doesn't make Negan good or bad. But can feeling something for Judith, can that help differentiate between whether he's truly good or truly bad? Question for the group. When Negan wrecked the bike, honest question. Judith is a kid with a gun, but hear me out on this one. I'm not talking about emotionally. Could Negan have physically overpowered Judith when she turned her back and snapped her neck and went back and got back on the motorcycle and left on his own? Yes or no? I'm not talking about emotionally could he have done it. Could Negan have physically overpowered that child and left if he wanted to get away? Why didn't he? Why did he not do it? It's rhetorical, but why did he not do it? Because he has this grand scheme to go back to jail and gradually win over all the people of Alexandria that don't care for him and don't trust him? No, it's not what's going to happen. I know there's going to be one or two people that's going to say that. They're going to say, yeah, it's all part of the master plan. He's going to start recruiting people. Nobody wants to be on Team Negan. They will only accept him if they don't have any other choice and they need him. Because he cares about her. So take the trip to the sanctuary, take the clothes, take all those things out. If you want to see redemption, he went back. All right, follow-up question. William, the Walking Dead billboard, I think he needs to be a part of something. This is for Says Who You as well. Sorry, Ellis. I got sidetracked. I'm coming back to you in a minute. You know, we noticed Daryl giving Connie the look, right? And it was like, oh, that's kind of cute. Our hearts melt. How many people noticed the disappointment with Negan when Michonne looked through the jail cell? June Smith, I got a super chat here with June Smith. The Walking Dead started with Rick and his people. That's what we know. We came in knowing this group, not Negan. Blame the writers. Long live Rick and his people. June, I agree. I blame the writers. And this is the mess that the writers have created. But you can't blame the writers forever. You got to give the writers a chance to undo some of the problem. The writers should have never made Negan kill Glenn and dance around in the moonlight. Never. Because as we started to stream, that is the emotional wrecking ball. So tie it into current day. Did you guys see the distress on Negan's face? And oh, shit. You know, like, Judith just got in trouble. There's my buddy up there. Now I'm not going to be able to talk to her anymore. Did you guys not see that? The same people who said Negan's out there looking for Lucille, that he's out there just trying to be his own self. Did you not notice the part where he felt like he was losing his family? How can you see one side and not see the other side is my question. And I'm not asking you to totally see my side, which my side is starting to change, but I'm asking you to be able to see both. Says Who You says he was disappointed with the loss of his window to the world. He revealed that he has been listening that way. So, Says Who You, let me see how the audience feels about that. See if the audience agrees that you're right. I don't agree. Do you guys feel like Negan was disappointed because he's not going to be able to eavesdrop any longer? Or do you feel like the reason he came back was to be with Judith, and now that relationship has been tarnished? He was sad he got Judith in trouble. His reaction was to Judith. He saw Judith. His reaction actually happened, Says Who You, not when Michonne made the comment about blocking up the window. His reaction was when Michonne saw Judith run around the corner. And, I mean, if you want to narrow it down to the specific moment, that was his unfiltered reaction. Now, he would have had to time that really well to make her think that. But it's when he saw Judith around the corner. One more moment of redemption. Maybe you caught this, maybe you didn't. And look, you might make the argument. I'm sure there's going to be some people that will make this argument too. After Judith shot the gun at him and he wrecked the motorcycle, when Judith says to him, I told you there was nothing out there for you, and she turned her back and started walking away. And he says, you sure as shit did. And he got this smile on his face. Was that a smile of someone that wants to go back over and take over Alexandria? Or did you feel like his bond with Judith, and because he loved talking to her when he was in jail, he told her when he was at the fence climbing over, he could have, oh, by the way, sorry, he could have killed her in his sleep when he snuck into her house. He didn't. He took her compass. She pulled the gun on him there, and he said, here's the compass. And she goes, no, keep it. It'll help you find your way. Then he climbed over, and then he had to go through his mission. Then he got captured on his way back, willfully gave himself up. I don't know. I really don't know what the writers can do to ingratiate Negan into the hearts of people any more than what they've done with Judith. At a minimum, if you don't see what they're attempting to do with Negan and Judith, not just how Negan reacts to Judith, but how about the reciprocation? How about the way Judith defends Negan? So, says who with a super chat? I'm torn on this. So he says, okay, to be clear, I'm not saying Negan wants to take over. Some of the audience they're going to say that's his long-term objective. Just not a good guy. That's it. Here's the pushback that I'm going to give on this. If you knew nothing about Negan's past, let's say, for example, you're Magna, okay? Can you guys join in with this? How many people want to be Magna? Or one of Magna's groups? Or one of Magna's group? I need some volunteers. Let's get some people to step up. All right. Angie wants to be Magna. Queen Dixon wants to be, okay. June Smith wants to be Yumiko. Chris, you're not being Magna. Hold on. You haven't even gotten to my example yet. You can't answer the question before the question's asked. All right. We got a lot of people that'll be Magna. If you were Magna and you saw or overheard Negan's conversation with Judith, or you saw the way Judith talks about Negan, is he a good guy or is he not a good guy? Simple question. That's all you know. All you know is what you see. You think he's a good guy, right? Okay. Let me take you to a different scenario. If you were the wife of one of the saviors that Rick and Morgan murdered when they were turning around to help you fight, would you think Rick and Morgan are good guys or bad guys? If that's your only interaction with them. You didn't know what you knew. You didn't know the history. Somebody said, hey, they were trying to surrender, and this guy murdered them. What would you think? Good guy or bad guy? Bad guys. Animals. Savages. Oh, that's not a double standard at all, June. It's actually the opposite of a double standard. You can encapsulate any moment from The Walking Dead. Is Father G a good guy or a bad guy? He's given some good advice, right? Tries to help people. No. Right now, is Father G a good guy or a bad guy? A weird guy? I love it. I love it, Mike. Michael, you know what? You win the award. People coming into the community, somebody said a little bit ago, they're like, Negan's, it was Vippo. Vippo's like, Negan's in jail for a reason. Well, you know what? Father G is a priest for a reason. So you come into Alexandria and you see this guy that is helping people and it's like doing good things for the community. He's a good guy. This day and age, Father G is a good guy. He's not out there trying to kill people. He's not trying to hurt people. He's redeeming himself. Why did Father G become a good guy? Why did he devote his life? Why did he change? Big Kev, what's up, guys and gals? Let's get it right. I'm the one who started the Red Fair. I tried to market it, one day to the show. Red Fair Wars, my man, Red Fair Wars. Chris, I'm not even trying to sell Negan to you. I'm talking about Father G. Why did Father G give his life to the church, and why did he want to save people? Because he locked the door of his church and left those people to die. But the irony, so June, here's your double standard. Father G made a decision to betray his congregation and to take care of his selfish needs and lock those people out to be devoured, and then through the years was able to reform and help people. But Negan, who killed people and tried to set a tone and tried to keep people at bay, to keep from getting a revolt, was locked up for a longer period than Father G. Father G was able to transform all of his ideals within the process of about 2 years, but in 7 years, Negan was not given the same luxury or the same opportunity as Father G. Interesting. I'm just trying to clear it up. What other characters could we go back and forth on of whether or not they've been given redemptive qualities? He did. Hey, no problem, says to you. Always a pleasure, Kills. Thanks for the cool back and forth. Respectful disagreement is a rare world today. Love it. Keep it. It's what we do. I'm about, June Smith, I'm about to light you up. Really, June? Hold on. Where's June? June, I'm going to pick you out of a crowd. There you are. Negan bashed brutally Glenn's brains in. I know. And June, I have not wavered from the fact. In fact, did I not say about 20 minutes ago, it is the most disturbing part of anything with The Walking Dead so far, in my mind. And I'm going to go back to Chris Raining a little bit too, because Chris is right. Chris is right there when I said, I hate Negan, I can't forgive Negan, It doesn't matter. 2 years from now, I will never, ever, ever give him the benefit of the doubt. You're right, June. I mean, I guess if I look at it, but there's this thing called an implied story. So, June, here's what happened. This is the part you didn't see. You saw a little bit of it. Father G ran in and locked the door. And all you heard was clawing and scratching and, "Let me in. My child was just eaten. Let me in. You can't leave us out here to die." And desperation and mothers watching their kids be devoured by walkers and legs being ripped off and limbs being destroyed. And Father G was just behind the door with his eyes closed. Like, he could have opened the door and let them in, but he didn't. And this went on for hours. It didn't go on for the 30 seconds you saw it in The Walking Dead. This went on all night. The walkers were devouring and eating all of those people. But it's okay. You missed all of that. And this is kind of back to the point I talked about a little bit earlier. Alpha needs to go slow because Father G did some evil stuff that was not completely articulated. It was assumed. The governor did some evil stuff that was not maximized for their potential. And when they did it with Negan, they went overboard. I'll give you that. But before we get into that, because we're going to wind down in a minute, I do want to say Sherry Bentley just unlocked a brand new emoji. That is Kel's emoji will be unlocked during the stream tomorrow. So tomorrow at noon, you're going to get to see the third moderator emoji. All the members, you guys can do me a favor. Can you guys just put up the 2 emojis that we have unlocked so far? And that is going to be the man bun and the Cuervo Queen. And Kel's emoji will be uploaded tomorrow. So what happens is when YouTube will not let me do it on every time a new member. So every 5 members that join, they allow us to unlock on our channel a brand new emoji. So what we have is we have emojis for each moderator, and then last will be me. We have a kill shot emoji. So now when we get 5 more members on our channel, we will get Emmy's emoji, which you will see again tomorrow, and it is so appropriate for Emmy. It's a unicorn. It's dapping. So 5 more members, and we will unlock Emmy. So that's going to be the next thing. So look, I can get into these really philosophical debates all day. And the thing, let me go back to what Chris Reinig said, because I won't back away from my position. You know, when I take a stand on something, I will be the first person to admit it. I absolutely know how I bashed Negan, just like Negan bashed Glenn. And I was a hater. But I did also say shortly after that, Chris, that the writers made a big mistake, and they will slowly add piece by piece by piece by piece to make sure that they get it back to, you know, it's kind of like the Matchbox 20 song, right? Back to good. They got to get it back to neutral before they can ever make it good. And I think that's where we're at right now. And they still have their work to do for sure. Big Kev, 619. San Diego says Father G was just high. He had the munchies and wanted to keep all the food. Kev, he was locking himself in the church, and then he got high, and then he got... all right. William, the Walking Dead billboard. I drank half a pot of coffee. My nerves are shot. Good times here. Love you guys. And... wait a minute. Zelda Faz. I think I saw a post on our Facebook fan page that said, "Is this your first super chat? Pike the Father G. Oh, and your voice set me free." So you guys do me a favor. Give this video a thumbs up, because I think Zelda's been trying to super chat for a long, long time, and this might be his first official super chat. So that's good news. Thank you. Appreciate you being able to highlight some of the comments. Mark Kuhn says Father G was weak at the time, so no way he could have survived. And there certainly is I love this. Pamela Irving says, I do believe a person can change, but he has to be forgiven by Maggie. And Pamela, he's probably not been forgiven by Maggie, but he was certainly spared by Maggie. And I do think that if Maggie's willing not to kill him, then at least as viewers, we should be willing not to kill him. And that's the first step. June Smith, loving coffee with you, Kills. And June Smith, always a pleasure. So a couple, let's see, Ellis Smith Jr., my man Ellis, thank you so much. Says who you, June Smith. I absolutely love getting into banter and debate. And let me say this. So anybody watching the playback, don't ever, ever, ever misunderstand the way we debate on this channel for hatred or anger or whatever people do, because things get twisted. I just love to debate topics. I love to talk about things and give all scenarios. Sometimes it's devil as an advocate. Sometimes it's a point of view. Sometimes I'm going to take a step back and say, whoa, yeah, I was kind of off on that. But regardless, I think it is healthy debate, and I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. Question keeps coming up, and if you guys are here for the topic, we are going to wind the topic down. This is the end of the video, but I am going to answer a couple questions as a sidebar because we get asked this a lot. Do me one more favor, though, everybody. Well, two more favors. One, enjoy your Saturday and be safe whatever you do today. Number two, hit that like button. If you like what we do, hit the like button. Subscribe to our channel. Be here tomorrow. We're going to be live at noon here. At 3 o'clock, we're going to be on 999 Dead with extended spoilers. At 8 o'clock tomorrow night, we're going to do our pregame tailgate party, our Walking Dead countdown. And then after the show, it might be an extended show this week. We will broadcast right after the show. So we'll do our reactions video. Several people have messaged up there because now we're going to unlock Emmy, the dapping unicorn. YouTube it's tricky with how you become a member. And also, a shout out to the patrons. I want to talk about patrons in a second too. But to become a member on the YouTube channel, you have to be on a computer. You can use the emojis on an iOS device, on an Android device, but you can't sign up. So if you're on a computer, you hit the $sign, and then you join through the YouTube gaming app. And once you're there, it'll allow you to hit level up. And once you level up, you become a member. And the more members we have, the more custom emojis we can unlock. You get loyalty badges. We just had Wilson become a 1-year, used to be a sponsor, now it's a member. So thank you for that as well. That's kind of what's going on. And then some other people are like, whoa, look at this billboard over on the left side with all these Patreons. The Patreons are a whole different level of support. There's a link down below. It's a third-party website. Patreons will be involved in custom surveys, some behind-the-scenes stuff that I do, different pictures, different comments. We're going to do some loyalty stuff that's going to make being a Patreon a very, very big deal. So certainly, if you have to choose one or the other, it's up to you. There's going to be benefits to both. I would probably say being a Patreon is going to be a little bit more prestigious because there are going to be some other things that I'm going to do, some special streams. But being a channel member, definitely we appreciate your support here, and we want to do something for the YouTube channel members as well. And then we're going to do something for people that are both. You can see like Sherry Bentley, Newfield 12, Wilson, a couple other people. I'm going to do kind of like a gold star type of thing. You'll see. We got some big things planned for the channel all throughout the rest of the year. So just takes a little time to iron everything out. We got Sheila Beasley says, Kills, I joined from my phone with YouTube Gaming. Okay, well, there you go. So that answers that question. If you get on your phone and you go through YouTube Gaming, then you have the opportunity to do that. That used to not be the case, so it looks like YouTube is finally coming around. So YouTube app is the way you get in there. Many of you are both. And let me say this also. I don't want to pressure anybody into doing anything that you can't do. I love the support. Support helps us grow, helps us advertise. But those of you that are in a situation where you can't be a member and you can't be a Patreon, you're a part of this 999 army. And hang out with us, watch the videos, participate. You are just as important as anybody else that's supporting this channel. So don't ever think otherwise. And That's all I got, everybody. It's 1 hour and 5 minutes. What a long stream. We went from coffee with kills to, like, literally it's lunchtime. And have a good afternoon. And I got another super chat. This is the Walking Dead Nerd 13. Welcome new patrons, members, and subscribers to the best Walking Dead channel. And it's the best Walking Dead channel because it has the best group of people, the best people that are involved in this chat. So thank you so much. We will be doing tomorrow at noon, Brandon Loyola, pick 'em or pike 'em, everybody. Show up for that. There's a poll on our Facebook fanbook page. Get over there and vote. I'm going to bring 6 more people into the equation. And then once we get those 6, that's it. We're going to wind it down, and we're going to do like a March Madness type of elimination. So be here tomorrow at 12 o'clock, and we will do pick 'em or pike 'em. Sherry Bentley, my emoji only works with phone, not laptop. Interesting. All right. That's your YouTube stuff. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. Ellis, you're not blocked. You're here. I see you. William, the walking... You know what? William is doing what, like, OU Crawfish does, like, at the very end of our streams where they kind of keep us here a little bit longer because I'm going to read the super chats. William, the Walking Dead billboard. My next batch of beer, can I print 999 labels, kills? Yes. William, let's talk offline. But yes, if you want to, we'll talk about it. Angie Homan in Negan voice. This was a productive damn day. Thank you, Angie. Appreciate that. And hopefully you're not driving and super chatting again. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate everybody being here. And it's fun. It's fun to chat and disagree and agree and analyze topics. I'll see everybody here at noon tomorrow. Have a good afternoon. Peace.